Oh my god, it's on my book now!
Oh no!
That's fine, I got it.
Hey everybody!
Hi!
Welcome back to
The Drunken Library.
And this video is actually going to be a really special, fun video for us. It's a tag video. It is the beer and book tag. We were tagged by the lovely ladies over at the restricted section. We will link their video down in the description. And we will also link the original video down in the description, which was apparently in Portuguese. Yeah, so whether or not the questions that we have are actually accurate, who knows?
Well,
but
we're starting.
We'll see what happens.
Or the restricted section started a phase, and
we're just following their lead. So
we're
gonna do it. But it's like beer and books. It's like exactly what we do here. So we had to.
Thanks for the tag, you guys.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
And so the way this works is you have a type of beer, and then its like book equivalent, and we each have like a recommendation or an answer or whatever.
Yeah.
Stuff.
And then.
And then...
Well, I was going to specify the other half, but I realized you already said it.
We've been drinking. It's fine.
Don't worry about it.
Let's get down to business.
So the first one is an American lager beer, which is a lightweight and cheap beer. So the book equivalent is a bestseller that you do not have the slightest desire to read.
My personal choice for that was The Fault in Our Stars. Goodness gracious. By John Green. Burp. Can or cannot be included. Totally up to you. But the reason I went with this is because I think it's just kind of depressing. Everybody dies love story. I'm not about that. And honestly feel like I've heard enough about that book from other people that I don't really need to read it to know what happens. So I just don't want to.
Fair. I chose The Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown, and mostly it's just because I've heard that it's just a really bad book, honestly.
Not well written. But yeah, alright. Second question is India Pale Ale or IPA, which is a bitter beer, and the book equivalent is a famous book or a bestseller that you like. So.
I went with Cloud Atlas by David Mitchell. I love the cover of the book, which is
a good cover.
Just really what kind of drew my attention to it. I didn't know anything about it. I don't actually even know if it's a bestseller or not. The movie is garbage. Just don't. Strong feeling.
My answer for this one is Valley of the Dolls by Jacqueline Suzanne, which is like a pulpy, trashy pop culture read. Goodness gracious, calm down. That was written in the 60s. It like blew up after it got published.
So third is Bohemian Pils. So that's a balanced and light beers. And that is an easy and enjoyable book to read.
All right. My answer for this was Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. This is the first book in a trilogy. I really like the whole trilogy. It's about witches and vampires and demons and like libraries and all kinds of fun stuff. And that's later Amber. And it's a really good story. It's like a good way of bridging from YA into adult books if you're really into like the urban fantasy kind of stuff.
I went with Holes by Louis Sachar. It's just it's easily digestible, and the story is really captivating, and it's super delightful, and
great story.
It's just great. And we have many thoughts on this book.
You can see them in our first ever video.
So yeah.
All right. Ooh. Goodness. Next question is a Weiss or a WeizenBier, which is a German wheat beer, which is our collective favorite. But it is a classic book, and we each chose our favorite classic for this. So.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really think
totally
about it.
Makes sense. If you're going to recommend a classic, you got to like recommend one you like, right?
Obviously. So I picked Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I love it. I love the sass. I love all of the awkward shit that happens. It's basically my life. So, embarrass yourself and then try to find a man.
I went with another one of the big ones. I have Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. A lot of people have a lot of feelings about this book. The characters aren't likable. They're assholes. All of them. But that's okay.
Yay, it's me. It is me. It's the next one. Number 5 is amber or red ale, a reddish beer.
Thank you. That's a very specific question.
I'm so red. Can't
So
you
red.
see?
Anyway, the book equivalent is?
The book equivalent is an easy book to please everyone.
We actually share an answer for this one. And it is The
The
Never-Ending
Never-Ending
Story
Story
by Michael Ende.
It is
The best thing.
so
It's
fucking
so
great.
great. The movie, not so much.
And the cool thing about this book,
if you get a hardcover edition.
yeah, it's got to be a hardcover. The paperback doesn't have this, but it's printed
In two
two different
colors.
colors.
It's a green and like a maroon.
Yeah. So, because it's a
Like
story.
within a story.
Yeah.
Next question is a sour beer, which is an acidic beer, usually sour, acid, you know. That's a book that few people liked when it was released, but you loved. I interpreted this a little differently, but Amber can answer first.
So, I actually don't know what everybody thinks ever. So I just went with stuff that I heard a lot of people say they didn't like before I read it. And then when I read it, I was like, hey, this is actually pretty fucking cool. And I like it quite a bit. And I went with Lord of the Flies by William Golding. So,
I chose something for this that, like, I don't know how it was received when it came out. I don't know how the general population feels about it. But all of my friends that have read it, that I know, don't really care for this series, but I read it at the right time in my life, and I loved it. And that is the Sword of Truth books by Terry Goodkind. This is actually like the 5th or 4th in the series. I can't remember, but this one's called Temple of the Winds. This is, I think, probably my favorite one in the series. I read it in a day, and it's like 820 pages long.
Number 7 is a Russian Imperial Stout. That's dark beers with roasted chocolate or coffee notes, which sounds delicious.
It's a stout. You like stouts.
All right. I think we already went over this.
We did.
I'm drunk. Whatever. Fuck it. So the book equivalent is a dense or unclear book, which...
I disagree with that about the beer. I mean, I guess it's kind of dense, but, like, whatever.
Yeah,
but
like, it sounds so good. Why is it gotta be something...
But, like, my feelings about the books in this category, not so much. The number one thing that comes to mind for us is House of Leaves. See our 3 goddamn videos about it if you want to know more. But this
Just watch the second one. It's all
the
you need
second
to
one's
know.
the most important, but this is some horseshit. This is some horseshit. It's some horseshit.
It's not bullshit.
It's horseshit.
It's horseshit.
It's fine. Get out of my face.
Ain't nobody got
Get out
time
of my
for that.
face, Daniel Lusky.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Question number 8 is
Sorry.
a Saison or Farmhouse ale. Spicy, well-carbonated, and fruity beers. And that is a cozy book that reminds you of good times. Aww.
So, I actually went way back. And I went with Max Deluxe, which is a kid's book. And this is actually like a collection of a bunch of the Max stories. So,
It's a dog that's a poet.
yeah, he's a dog and he's a poet and he like goes to Paris and he's like, oh, my pages. I feel like I'm just a child again. I like being a child, except for when I'm drinking alcohol. Maybe children shouldn't do that a little.
My answer to this one won't surprise anybody who watches our channel ever. But it's my favorite book of all time, even though I probably, if I read it for the first time now, wouldn't feel that way. But I still love it. I love it every time. I cry every time. It's The Outsiders by S.C. Hinton.
So number 9 is a fruit lambic, which is spontaneous. What the fuck?
Fermentation.
Oh, yeah. I just wasn't sure if I read spontaneous right.
Yep,
I'm
that's
just
the
like,
correct word.
it's like, surprise, beer.
They're-
I'm drunk, you guys. Don't judge me. I can read, really, I swear.
It's cool. It's cool.
Spontaneous fermentation beers with fruit. What the fuck ever. This is a romantic book, so I'm just gonna swear a lot.
It's fine.
What
This
the fuck did I pick for this?
Dana Wade. But
Oh, yeah, no, it's fine.
I actually chose. I left the stickers are still in here. I keep forgetting to take them to work. I chose, and this is a weird one, probably for romantic, but like, fuck y'all, it's my answer. I chose Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. I can't say it, whatever. But it's, I think it's romantic in, like, a quirky high school unconventional way. There's this adorable, like, infatuation that I think is just the sweetest thing, and this is also one of my favorite books, and this is a new copy because Amber got me one to replace the stupid one.
I saw it and I was just like,
and it's signed.
Yeah, it just needed to happen.
It's so cute.
So I don't have my personal physical copy. Your friend has it at the moment.
Because everybody should read it ever.
Everybody should read it. I promote this book up the wazoo, but I chose Hothead by Damon Suede.
It is a romance.
Yeah, it's definitely for adults. Don't read it if you're 17.
Don't do that.
I mean, maybe read it if you're 17, but I'm not promoting that.
But it's
yeah, don't.
It's a little raunchy.
It gets a bit it's a little explicit at certain points from the beginning to the end.
But aside from that, like, that stuff definitely happens, but it's also a really good love story.
Yeah, no, the characters, it does a really, really, really good job of getting you invested in the characters and the relationship and what's at stake for them individually and, in relation to each other. And it's just a great story. It's good. So good.
It's so sassy. Is number 10. It's an American barley wine, which is fruit, sweet, balanced by high bitterness and alcohol and hops. It is a book that has a bit of everything.
A bit of everything.
That's a lot of pressure, though. Like, everything? Like, everything?
I mean, it could be different degrees of everything.
That's true. So what was your answer?
So I chose an entire book series. It's a manga. I chose Hanakimi by Hisaya Nakajo. And in the one volume, it's only like yay big, so no. But like it's 23 books, and the entire series, it has everything. There's many love stories, including love triangles, because of course it has to have everything. And then there's like murder mysteries sometimes, there's ghosts, there's drama, there's cross-dressing, there's vacations, there's comedy, there's the horror, there's Japan, there's America, there's a lot, they talk about baths. Yeah,
Alright, the one I chose for this is also a series, and it's a thing that I love. And I love very much in a world that I love very much. It is the Wicked Years series by Gregory Maguire. This is the first 2 books in a bind-up that Barnes & Noble issued. This is Wicked and Son of a Witch. I actually bought the 3rd one in our last haul video, which is A Lion Among Men, and the 4th one is called Out of Oz. But it's like the story of Oz originally told about the backstory of the Wicked Witch of the West. And then eventually, she has, a romance, there's politics, there's adventure, there's this whole crazy, illegitimate children, and, all kind of crazy shit that goes on, and, magic, and it's just really cool, and the series progresses in ways that I didn't expect it to when I read it initially. So that's our beer and books tag, but it is a tag.
Yeah.
So, we were going to tag some individuals.
A few. Not a whole lot. We don't know a bunch of
very many people. We would like to tag the folks over at Strip Cover Lit, because I think that their take on this could be pretty interesting.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. And then Erica over at Perks of Books, if she sees this, that'd be cool. Yeah. But we'll link their channels down yonder. And then check out Restricted Section. They tagged us. Check out our other stuff. And have an awesome day. Bye. It's really good insight into, showbiz life in the 60s.
I've always wanted to know about showbiz life in the 60s.